Hello, my name is Jacob Harding and I am the CEO of Lean Engineering Systems and Solutions, which often goes by its acronym LESS, because our customers can do more with less. I'm here today to tell you about an exciting new business investment opportunity for you, where a $400,000 investment today can garner you a 40% share in the business. I also want to tell you about our new product offering, the GembaWare software, which is a process optimization software. So let's get started. Imagine yourself as a young engineer right out of college. You're enthusiastic about the education you just received, you're ambitious about the career you're about to embark on, you're a very data-oriented person, and you have bright ideas for process improvements. And you're ready to make those improvements for your business in order to make sure that it remains competitive and thrives. Now, unfortunately, over the last 5 years, through harsh economic times, many manufacturing operations have ended up looking a bit like this, where they had to curtail all or a portion of their operations because they were unable to remain competitive, and often because those process engineers and managers did not have all the tools necessary to find those process improvements and remain competitive. So, as a young engineer, what tools do you have to use to find and make those process improvements? Well, oftentimes it's homemade spreadsheets. And unfortunately, homemade spreadsheets can sometimes lead to data discontinuity and analysis discontinuity if they're used differently around the organization or even within different departments. So those engineers looking for those process improvements could be sometimes looking in the wrong direction or in the opposite direction of people in other departments or other operating locations. So what other options are available? Well, there are more robust software options that actually take process information directly from the equipment on the shop floor and their programmable logic controllers and provide the analysis for the engineers. Unfortunately, many of these more robust systems are rather costly, and managers oftentimes have to say that there's not room in the budget for a tool such as that. So what other tools are available for a young engineer to find those process optimization avenues? Well, with your help, we can make GembaWare available to them. It is a process optimization software that focuses on utilizing lean manufacturing concepts to help find those cost-cutting and waste elimination ideas. So where does the name come from? Well, the term Gemba is a Japanese term that means the shop floor or actual place. And the concept behind this is that the data must come from the shop floor, and it comes from those involved on the shop floor to get everybody involved in the organization in process improvements. A sustainable process improvement is only going to actually maintain and fully be truly sustainable if everyone is involved. So what is the value proposition of GembaWare? It is to increase a business's VAR, or value added ratio. Now, this ratio is a calculation that determines how much time, energy, and resources are spent actually creating value for the business and for ultimately the customers. Now, a typical value added ratio for a typical manufacturing organization is anywhere from 1 to 10%. A world-class organization may have a VAR of upwards of 20%. Now, GembaWare has the ability, depending on how fully implemented the software is in the organization, to increase a business's VAR from 1 to 10%. So, for example, if an organization has 100 employees and they are able to increase their VAR by 5%, this could potentially lead to a 5% reduction in heads, which could ultimately lead to a $500,000 annual cost savings for an organization. So how does GembaWare actually increase the VAR of a customer? Well, via 4 main avenues. These features involve process mapping, value stream mapping, downtime tracking, takt time tracking, and takt time is really a measure of how quickly a process takes to complete, waste elimination, waste identification and elimination, and then process costing models and activity-based costing models. All of these features are grounded in the lean manufacturing concepts. The customers can then use these features to more closely focus in on their process and on eliminating waste in their process to increase their VAR and ultimately reduce their costs and remain competitive. So who are these customers that I'm referring to? The primary and fabricated metals industry will be the first target market. Now the reason for this market to be targeted first is that over the last 5 years, the industry itself has contracted by 4.5%. This means that industry participants are failing due to the strong competition in the industry. So of course, trying to optimize a process and reduce costs to remain competitive is clearly a strategy to succeed in this industry. In addition, the efficiency metric of shipments value per employee increased over this time frame by 17.5%. So this once again is a clear indication that efficiency is a strong driving force for success in this industry, and a process optimization software such as GembaWare will be vital for continued success for these customers. Now during a feasibility study, a target market regional lean manager was interviewed to determine if GembaWare had potential for this particular target market. And this is what he had to say. This is something we would definitely use, and I don't know of any software like this out there. Now this regional lean manager that deals with lean manufacturing concepts every day is unaware of any directly competing options out there, and he believes that if this were available to him, his organization would utilize it. So there's certainly a strategic opportunity for LESS to exploit and to take advantage of. So how are we going to do this? We're going to get our message directly to them through direct marketing on 3 main fronts. The first of which will be attending trade shows for the industry to bring the features of GembaWare to light to those target customers. In addition, industry-specific magazines will have advertisements for GembaWare run in them, and the company website will also be able to directly market to those customers. Now there are 3 product options for GembaWare. There's the software-only option, which is $4,000. There is an option for the software with setup training and assistance from a LESS representative. Now this is $10,000, but it is believed to actually have the most value for the customer because the setup training and assistance involves a LESS representative going to the customer's operating location and helping them accurately map their process and helping them gain the most value out of the software itself. Finally, there's a free download version which has limited features and embedded advertisements in the software. And those advertisements will be the revenue stream for this 3rd product option. Now here you can see the projected financials for the first 6 years of operation for LESS. You can notice that in 2015, the net income is actually negative. The reason for this is the process or product development will occur during this year via the company's programmers. Also, marketing campaigns will begin in this year. Sales will actually begin in 2016 when the product is launched in the 1st quarter, and they will increase steadily over the next 5 years of operation with a 2-year expansion plan or 2-year cycle for expansion. And then in 2020 you can see that the net income is just shy of $10 million, and at that same time the cash on hand for the business will be just over $15 million. So that expansion plan I mentioned, that 2-year cycle, well, that's going to help LESS take that next step on that ladder. They're going to, every 2 years, in 2018 and in 2020, expand into a new target market. In 2018, the target market will be the food processing industry, and in 2020 it will be the chemicals manufacturing industry. At the same time, continued sales will come from annual downloads of updates and upgrades for the existing customers. So what does the competition look like for a manufacturing consulting industry such as this that LESS is trying to break into? Well, it comes on several fronts. Because it's a product that is a software option, there is certainly an indirect competitor in a general utility software such as Microsoft Excel. There are also indirect competitors in the form of general manufacturing consultants such as Accenture, or a more targeted consultant such as a lean manufacturing consultant. There are direct competitors in the form of Weber Systems and Tupas. Weber Systems offers more of a complete ERP solution and is sold in modules, so it is more expensive than the Gemba option. And Tupas is most closely related to Gemba. However, it is more focused directly on the engineers and the managers that will use it, and doesn't also include the employees on the shop floor. In addition, it doesn't offer the setup and training assistance that LESS offers. Now here you can see the top 10 consulting service providers in North America and their associated market share. Now the top 10 that hold market share, none of them are a direct competitor. And you can see that the smallest percentage of one that is in the top 10 is 1.9%. Therefore, that the direct competitors that LESS will be competing against have less than 1.9% market share. So there is certainly an opportunity for LESS to gain a portion of this market. Now here you can see the managerial structure for LESS. The VP of product development and his software engineer that will report to him or her, they will be responsible for developing the software and developing those annual upgrades and updates. The VP of customer relations and the associated setup engineer, they will be the ones that attend trade shows and also attend the customer's operating location to help them set up the Gemba software at their location and accurately map their process. And this branch of the organization will be the one that increases in employees with increased sales. And the internal startup expert, this individual will be employed for the first 2 years of operation, and then it will be reevaluated if the position is necessary to be remained filled, or if we can vacate that position. So the managerial exit strategy for LESS is an initial public offering in September 2021. So once again, what is that investment opportunity? Well, if you invest today for $400,000, you will garner a 40% stake in the business. The other 60% is made up of a business loan taken out by the CEO. Now this $400,000 has the opportunity to return 1,400% on the investment over that first 6 years of operation. So all we were missing is that last piece of the puzzle, which is your investment. So once again, if you invest in LESS today, we can provide that young engineer with a tool to help them eliminate waste. They will be able to say that they increased productivity and they were able to reduce cost because they did more with less. Thank you for your time and attention.